good teaching is good teaching. And the pedagogy and the practice that we use as teachers does not matter what grade level you're in. And so you can take that expert knowledge that you're comfortable with, and you can use the leverage of the scripted lesson or the exemplar or whatever AI can produce for you and put the two together to deliver the instruction that's needed. And that is a piece of control we have to let up. You are not letting up what you know in your heart is good teaching.
What about teachers?
Okay.
How do you work? I mean, because I know a lot of teachers I talk to, I mean, it's a new thing. It feels like one more thing I have to learn. I just got this thing down, and now you're asking me to do something else.
Right.
And they don't realize, and we add these languages like prompt, and I mean, people have been putting in a prompt. Whenever you do a search on Google, it's a prompt. So, but we've complicated it sometimes. So how do you transition the teachers to this level of adoption?
I think it really is about equipping our teachers and providing them that professional learning of how to use it. Yes, we want to teach our students how to appropriately use it. We have to teach our teachers how to appropriately use it, how to refine their searches, how to give it specific information to get the creative piece out of it that we're striving for, and then how to tie that with the pedagogy practices that they know are best for kids and how to marry the two together.
Yeah.
And I would encourage teachers to think about when smartphones first came out. You know, it was overwhelming to learn all the apps, how it works. But on the backside of that, how much convenience and time and life do you have that because of how? So the same thing with AI. You don't really have a choice to not learn.
Right.
At this point, at the front end, maybe it's a little more work because you're uncomfortable. But on the back end, you are going to save your students so much time remediating, reteaching, differentiate. It's really at this point, I don't think if you're trying to save time, you don't really have a choice. You need to get your hands in it and start playing.
Yeah.
Well, it also saves the teachers time. If they're able to give it specific information about their students, look at their standards, look at their type of curriculum, and create something with that assistant that you're talking about versus them trying to spend all the time creating all those things. And that's what I mean. You don't have the time to not learn it.
Right.
You really don't. Like,
right.
You are
the advantages outweigh the disadvantages.
Exactly. Just like when you learned your smartphone or your smartwatch, and now you're like, I don't even have to get my phone out. I can. Just like you took the time to learn that, and it saved you time on the back and more time on the front end, less time on the back end. AI is that same way in my So
I agree. And I love when we think about the curriculum and the standards and how, for some of our teachers coming in, they don't have the background in pedagogy that other teachers might have gotten.
Right.
And to shore them up, some of the tools that we see integrated into curriculum products like HMH have really expedited a teacher's job in designing instruction. I mean, the days of having to comb through activity you just don't have to do it. You plug in a search by standard and everything you need to teach that pops up.
Absolutely.
Just click, it's in there. You do it. So what kind of time has that saved you? I mean, you just had a baby.
I just had a baby. Let me tell you.
What kind of time has that saved you?
So I go back to this idea of a typical student doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
And so what I was finding is I was like hand sorting student work to make groups. I mean, I had Post-it notes out. This student needs reteaching here. The student needs, and I was hand sorting papers. I'm sorry, like, that baby needs milk. I need a bottle as soon as I'm home, right? Like, it needs a nap, and I just don't have that kind of time.
Right.
So what I love is AI can just sort through all that data, create those groups for me, right? So I'm still active. I'm still reaching every kid where they're at, but I'm doing it in half the time.
Yeah.
Like how could I function on this side of motherhood with it?
What I love as a principal and a superintendent is you didn't have to quit. That's what I love.
Listen,
absolutely. Keep your job and keep your sanity at the same time, because we added AI to the solution.
And educators are so dedicated to the career we cannot continue in the classroom if we know that we're not providing students with what they need.
It's true.
We can't. And so if we got to the point where we have to choose between our personal lives and really giving kids what they need to be successful, no one wants to make that choice. So thankfully, I think AI has given me a lot of hope in that regard.
Yeah.
Right. To be able to still meet kids where they're at, but clock out and go home.
Yes.
So I'm excited about that.
Yeah. And even with the grading, like when I was first teaching, I had a principal who I would take milk crate full of papers to grade home. And she flagged me down in the parking lot one day. She said, "You can't do that. You're going to burn yourself out."
Right.
And I said, "Well, how are they going to get graded?"
Right.
So you've got to grade them on your planning time. I said, "Plan on my planning time." Right. And I go to the bathroom. But, there's just literally not enough time in the day.
Right.
But the role that AI has played in assessment and grading, feedback,
Right.
like we get with Writable,
Right.
I mean,
Right.
I can't. There's no words.
This
No
is,
words.
as a writing teacher, I mean, I'm grading 100 pieces. I mean, in one sitting, it would take me 10 minutes per kid times 100 kids. I was a different woman. That side, but I couldn't continue that for my family, right? So what I love is the AI portion of grading on Writable. I'm still going to grade students' work, but I can grade 10 and let AI feedback keep the other kids moving while the next day I get to the other 10. Let AI feedback keep kids moving, the other 10, right? So instead of me staying up all night, trying to get
everything done,
so my class can keep moving, right? AI helps us keep moving. I'm going to touch everyone's work. I'm going to look at everyone's work.
a week.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But if we've got fall practice or we've got a faculty meeting, I need my class to keep moving right forward. We need to keep progressing. We only have a year with them.
Yeah.
And so I'm really excited about that part of it.
How do you help teachers let go? Because we are control freaks as a teacher.
It's like, you can speak to that.
Yeah. And just helping them shift that mindset to let go of the control. They still have control.
Right.
They're just managing control, what they see. And you may say, like with your writing, I'm going to look at 10 kids on Tuesday, 10 on Wednesday, 10 on Thursday, or spread it out, however you want to do it. But you've got control on how you do that. How do you help teachers recognize the value add AI has for time management and for instructional practice?
I think early in my career, I can remember needing to find a resource or needing to find a teaching strategy. And I would open up my book from college, the table of contents, or go to the index in the back, and I would try to find some type of keyword that would give me the resource that I needed to assist this particular student, because they're all different, right? We all have different needs. Now, with this AI feature, you just plug in that information and it generates the script. It generates the exemplar example. It generates the step-by-step needed to give that student that access point. What I love about it is that you can be providing that pre-teaching for students, and maybe it's not a grade level you're comfortable with. Maybe it's this student needs some intervention, and you're not an expert on that. That's not your content. That's not your level of students you're used to teaching. But good teaching is good teaching, and the pedagogy and the practice that we use as teachers does not matter what grade level you're in. And so you can take that expert knowledge that you're comfortable with, and you can use the leverage of the scripted lesson or the exemplar or whatever AI can produce for you and put the two together to deliver the instruction that's needed. And that is a piece of control we have to let up. You are not letting up what you know in your heart is good teaching.
Right.
You are giving back yourself the time that it took to search for what you needed to deliver instruction, because it's finding it in an expedient path for you.
Yeah. I love analogies. I scored almost a perfect score on the Miller's analogy test. You're welcome. I know.
Wow.
It's the only test I've ever been able to do that well on. But the analogy, when I'm working with teachers to try to help them feel comfortable with it, I'll ask, how many of you go home every day and cook a 3-course meal every day?
Oh,
No hand. No hand.
No hand here.
Absolutely. How many of you go to the grocery store and buy a quick meal that you're going to bring home and maybe pop in the oven or microwave. Maybe some hands go up. How many of you go through a drive-through? That 5-minute plan. How many of you do that? Lots of hands go up. That's AI. That's AI in the food world. And so you already are comfortable with taking a little shortcut, with using a tool to expedite your time, to make life easier for you. You're just take that mindset and stick it over here.
Right.
Well, that's all we need to do.
I remember she coached me quite a bit early and even continued in my career. And I really dug my heels in when she would come in and want me to try something, especially when it came to teaching writing, because I really threw the baby out with the bathwater and just built our writing presence in my school. I was so proud of it, but I was burning myself out.
Yeah.
And so she came in and she really wanted me to try Writable. And I was and she said, I'm not asking you to throw out your pedagogy. I'm not asking you to throw out the way you teach. Don't change a thing. Can we try this tool? And it was, again, it got me through taking things home and cooking a 3-course meal every night like kids, right?
Possible. We can't do that.
It's not right. It wasn't sustainable.
No, it's not. And we want to have families, and there's a lot. I'm a big girl power person. Sorry, guys. Love you too. All about it. But there's a lot that is put on a woman in our world today that, it's just expected, right? Kind of like that 5-minute drive-through. And we have to, put a stake in the ground and say, we need balance.
Yeah.
And this is a tool that can give us balance as female educators.
Right.
Grab that tool, sisters. Grab the tool, embrace it.
Right. It goes back to that idea of you really don't have time not to learn it. Yeah. You're going to be a working mom.
Yeah.
Right. You really, it's time to get on board. Right. She saw that I was going to burn myself out. And like you said, afraid that I would turn in my keys and be done. Yeah. So she was like, we've got to intervene. And I think AI could do that for a lot of teachers. Yeah. It's done it for me. I'm really excited.
One last question is around a comment that you've made several times, which is, we have a lot of different kids in the classroom. In one word, I know, freshman. In one word, what can AI tools, especially AI and curriculum combined tools, do for our neurodivergent learners?
So if I had to sum it in one word, I would say access.
Okay.
AI can create a launching pad of readiness, whether it be AI helps me supplement vocabulary, AI generates a reading that's maybe simplified, AI creates an image for my visual learners, whatever it be. I need all my students, as diverse as they are, I don't need them to all get on the same page. I need them all to be at a level of readiness so they can access.
Yeah.
So I would say for me, if I was an educator, I would look at AI as a launching pad for students to access the quality curriculum I'm using.
That was beautiful.
Right.
Beautiful.
Well, that's
What's your word?
I think my word is equity. Coming from that coaching perspective, that teaching perspective, every kid deserves the best every day. Every day. They deserve the best. They deserve the best teacher. They deserve the best resources. They deserve the best environment that they're in. And so AI equips teachers with that knowledge, that resource that allows them to provide equitable instruction so that all students are getting the best every day. All students are getting access to high quality, grade level instruction. It's not fair for us to change this rigorous, rich curriculum. We need to create an equitable environment so we can get there. AI really helps.
Yes, a pathway.
Right.
And in a way that no warmer technology has ever been able to do.
Right.
My word would be personalization, because we can personalize a pathway for all learners to reach mastery at their pace, for them in their place, and feel confident about their ability, no matter what it is. Their ability, they own it, and they can feel confident about their ability to learn. And that's really the goal of education, isn't it? To empower every single kid, every single person to embrace learning and growing and attaining knowledge every single day.
Yeah.
So I'm so thankful that you guys took time out of your busy schedule to sit with us today and chat it up about my favorite topic, AI. Nobody else is talking about it. So, but we'll see you soon.